How to never get called again for a gig, or how to get all the work. I'm Sam Barsh. I'm a producer, songwriter, musician. My work has won multiple Grammys. I've written 2 #1 singles, and I've also performed thousands of live gigs and hired hundreds of musicians, both for studio and for performances. There is a list of things that bother me to no end that cause me to not hire people again. And these are some things I used to do earlier in my career. So if you're trying to break in, or even if you're working and you wonder why you're not working more, maybe listen to me, maybe not. But I hire a lot of people, so I think my insight has some value. Number one by far, show up on time. Or if you don't want any gigs, show up late all the time. The obvious reason for this is you're supposed to show up to work on time, no matter what your job is. You're getting paid, time is money, you have a client that wants you there. You have, in the case of doing live stuff, setup is involved. You got to find parking if you drove, etc. So you got to consider all that when you're leaving. Now, aside from that, something that may not be obvious, but is very real to people that hire bands is the psychology of showing that you respect the band leader and the gig by showing up on time, or conversely, showing that you don't respect it so much by showing up late. Now, people might not think that that's what they're projecting if they're showing up late, but trust me, both being a band leader and a curator and having worked with a lot of vocalists who I musical directed for, it is a big deal to people, especially sensitive artists, if you consistently show up late. Now, of course, things happen, but I've also noticed that some people have the same excuse every time. It's there was traffic, or my kid I had to pick up from school or whatever, or I had another gig before this or a session before this that ran late. That is bad time management. And I will be honest with you, I've known people that are consistently late to certain gigs and they're always on time to other stuff. And you know what? I had been guilty of that early in my career too. There was stuff where I didn't take it as seriously and I'm like, oh, well, whatever, they'll still hire me, and I would show up late. And then with other more high profile stuff where I was worried about making a good impression, I would always be on time and be early. So I would say if you're frequently late, rectify, or don't be surprised if you don't get called. I'm going to do more of these. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Peace out.